Good evening, I'm Matt Woodman. This is CTV News at 5. Tonight, Poilievre's proposal. The Premier reacts to the Liberals rejecting a Conservative pro-pipeline motion. Roads reopening. A busy avenue downtown now has 2 lanes of traffic flowing in both directions. And traveling through space and time, a man selling a time machine and starship he built himself.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Matt Woodman.
The federal Liberals have rejected a non-binding opposition motion on Alberta's energy agreement with Ottawa. Liberal MPs say Pierre Poilievre is playing games, while the federal Conservatives say this shows the Liberals don't actually want to build a pipeline. CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti joins us now. So Miriam, Premier Danielle Smith is weighing in on this. What did she have to say today?
Well, Matt, Premier Smith says regardless of the outcome of the vote, she and Prime Minister Carney are committed to implementing the terms of the MOU.
What I do hope is that no matter what political party anyone is in, that ultimately we'll all be able to support these kinds of major nation-building projects.
Premier Danielle Smith isn't letting a vote in the House of Commons deter the province from moving forward with a pipeline. Ahead of the vote, she spoke at a private Edmonton Chamber of Commerce luncheon.
I wouldn't take whatever outcome there is as any indication other than some politics that are happening.
The motion put forward by Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre mirrored the wording of the MOU signed between Alberta and Ottawa last month. CTV's political analyst believes the Conservatives are trying to further split the Liberal rank after watching Smith become friendly with Carney over the deal.
That really was uncomfortable for Conservatives because they didn't quite know where to land. Pierre Poilievre's in the anti-Carney business.
Coastal First Nations took the vote as an opportunity to reiterate their stance against the pipeline, warning against potential oil spills.
Today we are calling on all the MPs to stand with the Coastal First Nations to uphold the Oil Tanker Moratorium Act and protect our coast.
The National Coalition of Chiefs says the pipeline is not only important for the economy, but for the 14,000 Indigenous workers in the oil sands industry.
So it's very important. We know that Pathways is going to change the face of Alberta with the projects that's going to initiate.
The coalition agrees with Poilievre's motion, wanting to keep the Liberals accountable.
Carney is a businessman, and the best way to delay something that you have to invest in as a businessman is to, write an MOU and say, hey, do we look at it and see if it works out?
Alberta has until July 1st to meet the application deadline of making a new pipeline project a reality. Now, Prime Minister Mark Carney said he voted against Poilievre's motion because it was not the entire memorandum of understanding. He says if it was, his party would have supported it. Matt?
All right, Miriam Valdez-Carletti, thank you. Alberta's official opposition says the government is changing the rules as it sees fit after it shut down the legislature yesterday afternoon.
The motion has been made to adjourn until 7:30 tonight. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say no. No. The ayes have it. A division is called. Ring the bells.
The decision meant NDP and independent MLAs could not ask questions of the government or advance any motions ahead of the legislative break. It came after the UCP proposed moving the debate over 2 of its bills up earlier. To change the schedule, there needed to be unanimous consent, which the NDP refused to provide. The UCP says the NDP has repeatedly asked for longer debate times.
You can't have it both ways. You either have to choose one or the other. You can't argue that there isn't enough time to argue in this legislature and at the same time decline the opportunity to have more robust debate on those bills.
That sounds to me like the rhetoric of bullies that say, we're going to take away your time to talk about what you want to talk about, but we're going to blame you because you didn't want to talk about our government business. Private members' business, whether it's bills, written questions and motions for return, or private members' motions like Sarah Hoffman's, are a key part of our parliamentary democracy.
UCP MLAs said they spent the afternoon preparing for the debates. They wanted to move earlier. Those ended up going until after midnight. A man in Lloydminster had his gun seized and is facing a hate charge after Mounties say credible threats were made towards identifiable groups of people. Police say last week they executed a search warrant at the home of a 38-year-old man. They seized multiple guns as well as hate-promoting items like a Nazi flag. The man was charged for illegal possession and unsafe storage of guns, as well as willful promotion of hatred. He's scheduled to appear in court next month. In southern Alberta, RCMP are investigating several instances of hateful graffiti in Brooks. Police say white supremacist messaging and images have been spray painted, mainly onto city infrastructure. Police say there have been 9 incidents since October 1st. They're asking anyone with information to contact them. A man in Sherwood Park has been charged for possessing and sharing child pornography. 43-year-old Kenneth Dupe was arrested last week. He was released on conditions with his next court date scheduled for next year. Traffic headaches caused by Valley Line LRT construction should lessen with the project reaching another milestone.
Well, traffic will flow. It was down to 1 lane. You couldn't even turn. You still can't turn left off here onto a main road.
If there's 2 lanes, it's going to be a lot better.
Some of the congestion drivers have gotten used to downtown should ease up this week. On Monday, 104th Avenue grew by a lane in each direction. Since April, the stretch of 104th from 105th to 121st Streets was reduced to 1 lane for LRT construction.
We've delivered 2 seasons worth of work in 1 season, which we believe significantly reduces the impact on residents and on the businesses.
Marigold is building the Valley Line LRT. It says construction will be 60% complete by the end of this year. After nearly 50 years, the Velodrome in Argyle Park is coming down, and some city councillors are already imagining what could replace it. Last week, council approved $3 million to demolish the cycling track next year. It's at the end of its life, and training and racing are already moving to the new Velodrome in the Coronation Rec Centre. In July, the Juventus Soccer Club signed a 10-year lease for the site with the city. It plans to use the clubhouse and existing soccer fields there. Area Councillor Michael Jan says removing the track opens the site up to new possibilities.
I've heard interest already from soccer and different groups, but who knows, maybe there's something we haven't even considered, maybe a new cricket club or something else. But I think at the end of the day, the demolition unlocks some opportunities for us to think a little bit creatively here.
A spokesperson for Juventus says the sports club plans to turn the track area into a usable field space once it's demolished. Councillor Jans believes any future development will focus on sports and recreation. Well, the only sport and recreation to focus on right now, Josh, is probably skating and hockey. It is cold out there. It's only going to get worse this week.
Yeah, and by Thursday morning, shoveling snow for a little exercise as well. We had a little skip of snow go through earlier in the day today. Really didn't amount to much. I think late tomorrow night into early Thursday morning. That could be 2 to 5 centimeters worth. Minus 16 in Edmonton right now, and it's cold, but this is nothing compared to what's coming to close the week. Minus 16s, minus 17s outside the city. Thankfully, the wind is fairly light. That'll be the case for the rest of this evening, and then early tomorrow morning. Briefly, I think we're going to get some gusts. Minus 10 for a daytime high. That came in just after midnight, early this morning. Still 5 degrees colder than average. Temperatures fell to the mid-minus teens. We've been there through most of this afternoon. I think we'll probably get to about minus 20 later on tonight. And then temperatures after midnight should slowly start to climb. And we'll get to about minus 9 or minus 10 for a high tomorrow. There were the flurries that blasted through parts of the Edmonton region. Still dealing with some flurries here off to the east of the city and back off to the northwest. This is, you'll see, no real significant system set to come through tonight. So just mostly cloudy skies through the rest of this evening and overnight. We'll get to about minus 20 around 9, 10 o'clock tonight. And then temperatures will start to climb. Wind chill somewhere around minus 18 tomorrow morning as the wind starts to pick up out of the southeast. Gusts to about 30 kilometers per hour. Wind dies down in the afternoon, but we're still looking at wind chill in the mid-minus teens. And your daytime high of minus 9 tomorrow probably comes around lunchtime with temperatures cooling through the mid to late afternoon hours. Speaking of cooling, look at these daytime highs for Thursday, Friday, Saturday in the minus 20s. Looks like we'll see a little bit of moderation early next week, though. We'll take a closer look at your 5 and 10-day forecast in a couple minutes.
All right, Josh, thank you. Coming up next on CTV News, preparing passengers, advice to make traveling during the holidays less stressful and a lot easier.
At peak periods, we're expecting about 28,000 passengers throughout the terminal.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law. Brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
You're watching CTV News at 5.
Edmonton International Airport is gearing up for a busy holiday season. CTV's Gates Warren has more on ways to avoid travel headaches.
It's a festive atmosphere at Edmonton International. Carols fill the arrivals terminal, welcoming travelers to the city. As the holiday travel season begins, record crowds are anticipated.
At peak periods, we're expecting about 28,000 passengers throughout the terminals.
The airport hopes to make people's travel experience as smooth as possible.
We know people don't travel weekly, monthly. Sometimes the holiday season is really the only time that they travel, and so that does cause a bit of anxiety, that does cause a bit of stress.
Security is reminding travelers what you can and can't bring in your carry-on. Oversized liquids, large knives, and tools will get you stopped. Gifts already wrapped will also cause issues.
Especially electronics, because typically we need to search the electronics. And our lifestyle is prevalent with electronic type gifts for sure.
Staying in the loop about where you're going will also make for easy and safe travels.
Is there anything going on in that jurisdiction? Have we heard anything in the news in those places? So really just about being informed and understanding what you might run into.
Travelers taking off are sharing advice about how they're preparing for the holidays.
When you're having connecting flights and you have like a 1-hour layover versus a 4-hour, take the 4-hour. Don't be running across the whole thing.
Be on time. You're 2 hours in front of your flight, wherever you're going. I was, it's one of the only places that I'm consistently on time.
Whether you're traveling domestically or internationally, the biggest thing the airport says is to do your research and come as prepared as possible before coming to the airport. Gates Warren, CTV News, Edmonton.
The Edmonton Elks have signed their starting quarterback for another season. The team has extended Cody Fajardo through the 2026 season. He started as the backup QB until taking over as the starter halfway through last season. The team credits Fajardo for turning the season around after a 1-4 start and nearly making the postseason. The Elks' schedule for next year is now out, by the way. Key games include the season opener on the road in Ottawa June 6th, and the Elks' home opener is June 20th against the Montreal Alouettes. The Edmonton Oilers are looking for their first 3-game winning streak of the season. The Oilers host the Buffalo Sabres at Rogers Place tonight. Buffalo has lost 3 games in a row. Stuart Skinner will start in goal tonight. This will be the Oilers' 4th of 5 straight home games. Skinner says the long home stretch is helping the team find its game.
Yeah, I think it was very much needed just to get a little bit of rest. There's a couple days in between games, which was nice just to get our legs back. I think it's been very important, and just being able to get some wins here too is crucial.
Tonight's game begins at 7. A local charity is getting a major funding boost as it heads into the new year. IA Financial Group awarded Edmonton's Free Play for Kids $105,000 today. The charity was chosen out of hundreds of contest applications. It provides inclusive spaces for kids to play. It also holds nutritional literacy and food classes.
We got to cover at least half of our food budget for the next year, so that's massive. We don't have to worry about 50% of our budget. Yes, that's great. So now we get to feed almost 1,000 kids within the year.
This is the 9th year IA Financial Group has held a charitable contest. This year it focused on charities addressing hunger. Still to come tonight on CTV News, Home Away from Home, while wildlife team is now looking after a rare species of hummingbird.
After a few weeks of monitoring, we decided to intervene and take her into care.
Help us build a mountain of toys. Donate today at ctvedmonton.ca.
Coming up Wednesday on Your Morning Edmonton, giving the gift of time to Albertans dealing with cancer. Plus, we check on the state of real estate in our city. See you at 6.
Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays.
A hummingbird that was way off course has landed at a rehab facility north of Calgary. This is a Costa's hummingbird, a breed rarely seen in Alberta. It's more at home in the deserts of southern Nevada. In October, with a chill in the air, a bird lover alerted the Wildlife Agency it was still in a backyard in Calgary. The bird was successfully rescued while it was feeding inside a greenhouse.
After a few weeks of monitoring, we decided to intervene and take her into care. She was a little bit underweight, but she has since gained a little bit of weight, and by that I mean 0.1 grams. That is a lot of weight for a hummingbird.
Despite its tiny size, a specialized diet of insects means feeding the bird this winter could top $1,000. The not-for-profit is still figuring out the best way to release her back into the wild next year. A hummingbird weighs about the weight of a penny, Josh. Its grocery bill somehow going to be higher than mine this Christmas season.
Yeah. that's a stunning hummingbird fact there.
Yeah, you're very welcome. I promised you one.
Penny. Take a look outside right now. River Valley Skycam is brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right, it's free. It's minus 17 under mostly cloudy skies, minus 14 to the south in Red Deer. That's about 20 degrees colder than yesterday. It was 6 degrees in Red Deer yesterday, minus 14 today. Minus 22, minus 23 range in the Peace Country and in Fort McMurray. There's that little bit of flurry activity that you saw in parts of the Edmonton area earlier in the day today. It looks like skies are pretty clear, but it's just really, the satellites are having a tough time picking up that really low level cloud cover that we're dealing with out there. Wind warning in effect for the southwest corner of the province. And here, another snowfall warning for areas north of Grand Prairie. Grand Prairie, you'll see a couple centimeters of snow, but the heaviest, 10 to 15 centimeters, should be in that red zone, a little closer to Peace River. That'll roll in and start later on tonight and through the overnight period. You'll notice the darker purples. Yeah, they kind of graze the Grand Prairie area, but most of that heavier snow stays to the north. Here in Edmonton, maybe all of this snow stays north of us through the day. You might see a couple of flurries midday, but it's really not until late tomorrow night. This is 2 a.m. Thursday, so overnight tomorrow into early Thursday morning, this system goes through and probably drops a good 2 to 5 centimeters in the Edmonton area. Outside the city, it could be 5 to 10 centimeters for areas a little further to the north. Later in the day on Thursday, may see a few sunny breaks, but that's as the cold Arctic air really starts to set in. Minus 27 in Fort McMurray overnight tonight, minus 21 in Grand Prairie. By tomorrow morning, should be in the minus 12, minus 14 range from Red Deer north towards Edmonton. We'll see daytime highs tomorrow around minus 19 in Fort McMurray with some snow. Minus 16, Cold Lake, you're in the minus 20s, Grand Prairie and Peace River. Red Deer bounces back to about minus 3 tomorrow. And look at these temperatures across the south, 4 to 8 degrees above zero. So there is still some warm air lurking in southern Alberta over the next several days. I don't think it pushes all the way north into the Edmonton region early next week. Yes, there are some computer models that want to push temperatures closer to the freezing mark by Monday, Tuesday. I'm skeptical that we'll see that happen. Minus 9 around lunchtime tomorrow for your daytime high. Cloudy skies through the day. Chance of a couple scattered flurries midday, but the heavier snow will hold off until late tomorrow night into early Thursday morning. Probably a couple centimeters of snow on the ground when you wake up Thursday. And look at these daytime highs in the minus 20s Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Mornings Friday, Saturday in the minus 30 range. Again, there's a chance that we're a little bit warmer than that Monday, Tuesday of next week, but I think for the most part, temperatures are going to stay cold for the next 10 to 15 days, with the coldest days coming Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
All right, Josh, thank you. Starting tomorrow, you can transport yourself back to the 1930s on a luxury ocean cruise and the songs of Cole Porter. Victoria School of the Arts is presenting the musical Anything Goes. The Broadway classic features dynamic dance routines, jazz vocals mixed in with the mistaken identities and true love.
One of the things the kids have talked about a lot that they love about this show is the message of following your heart. That society puts on a lot of expectations on us about what we think people should do and what the right thing to do is, and that ultimately if you follow your heart and you follow your gut, that will take you to where you are meant to be.
Performances are scheduled tomorrow through Saturday with tickets available on the Victoria Schools website. When we return, simulator for sale. A man who built his own time machine getting lots of interesting inquiries online.
And I've had a lot of people asking me, does it actually work?
CTV News at 5 continues.
CTVEdmonton.ca.
Coming up on CTV News at 6, how the Canada Post strike and other factors are affecting Christmas cards being sent by mail. Plus, the proponents behind a Calgary to Banff rail project submit plans to Ottawa in hopes of getting approval fast-tracked. And details about a challenging rescue effort of a Navy sailor off Vancouver Island. Those stories and more on CTV News at 6 with Jeff Hastings. Well, you never know what you may find while you're browsing Facebook Marketplace. A man on a rural property west of Edmonton is selling his time machine. Wherever it's going, it will need roads. Entering Pat Gooley's workshop can feel like stepping back in time.
I have old machinery around. I've always been interested in that kind of stuff.
If you'd like to go even further back, you can step into his time machine.
The whole purpose of this machine was to simulate what it might be like to be in a time machine.
As a retired carpenter, Gooley spent his career constructing commercial buildings.
You know, they were very serious buildings, so it's fun to build stuff that's kind of whimsical or, you know, a little bit off the wall.
Most of the buttons and switches inside his time machine serve a purpose.
This is all adjustable.
Activating various lights.
Is the plasma.
Even reclining the seats. While it's been paraded around on wheels, it also features 4 retractable landing gears.
When you travel into time, you never know what you're going to land on.
Now that his 6 grandchildren have outgrown it, he's selling it for $850.
As somebody that's maybe a little more tech savvy than me can take it to the next level, maybe actually go through time.
Thousands of people have viewed his ad, although only a few seem to be serious buyers.
And I've had a lot of people asking me, does it actually work? My wife thinks that these people are joking, but I have a feeling 2 or 3 of them maybe are not joking.
If this was more than a simulator, Gooley says he'd like to witness the Wright brothers' first flight. Gooley's passion for aircraft is part of the reason he also built this. This is Starship.
I thought maybe, Matt, I'd get you to go inside.
Just like his time machine, there's controllable features like adjustable wings.
They'll go to about a 45 degree.
Increasable thrust. And shootable lasers.
What are you thinking when you sit in there?
I'm thinking I want to put in an offer, I mean. Imagine rolling into work in this thing.
Yeah. And with this, you'd only feel time.
Gooley says he'll eventually put his Starship on the market too. What's in store for his next build? Only time will tell. And unless you're going back in time, that's our show. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt Woodman. CTV News continues right now.